Looks like we're
Okay.
live.
Yeah, I believe you are live. Okay, so we are here on Java Maple Leafs channel, and I I have the pleasure to talk with Pedro. We'll talk about a lot of things, including his journey, the Java, and what he's doing in Canada nowadays. So, welcome for Pedro and everyone that is are listening us. And yeah, Pedro, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well. First, thanks for having me, inviting me to your channel. I think this will be a very good place to share about technology, careers, and I think this conversation will be exactly about that, right? And and yeah, I'm Pedro Cavalero. I'm a senior software engineer here. I work at Super.com here in Toronto. So uh, the company is a Canadian company. So, but they have offices in the US as well. So, and and I work from Brazil at first to them, and in the last year I came here to Toronto, and now I'm working here directly in Canada.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's been a while that I'm I was trying to get like a to an international job. I remember, I have around 20 years of career in my career,
Yeah,
most of them with Java, right? And with some goes and backs from engineer to management, and then back to engineer, and then back to management,
yeah.
then back to engineer again. So just I am actually like the engineer side of force. Well, I lost my
Yeah,
focus.
yeah, a little
Eh,
bit.
Wow,
Okay,
what happened?
try to come close.
Let me just change camera there. All right,
Okay, that is good.
now I get it again,
Yeah,
right? And but what I like the most is software development. So all my work was based on software development,
yeah,
and I've been studying like design, architecture, uh, all the all the things that related to that. You can imagine like 20 years we have lots of new tech that we see grow and then
yeah.
die and then start again.
That is
I remember,
most than the half of life of Java, right?
oh yeah, I remember when we were like web developers, and they say, oh, we cannot do anything in JavaScript because JavaScript was a toy language. If we say that today, some people say, "Wow, what are you saying?"
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
no,
starts
yeah,
off.
I remember this.
So, so when exactly did you arrive in Canada? Last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Nice.
arrived the last second the end of summer here, like August last year. So I'm about to complete 1 year in Canada.
Oh, nice. That is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're thinking about, oh, what we're gonna do? Like we're gonna do a barbecue too.
Yeah. Let's celebrate, right?
To celebrate, yeah.
And
And
what is your favorite stuffs in Canada? Like food,
so far,
weather, people.
right? Weather definitely not. When I got here, it was almost fall, and then I got my first winter,
Oh,
and I can say for someone who never had a winter like that, it's kind of scary, right? We we need to learn all the stuffs about winter, like how to put the clothes, which clothes you need to
Yeah.
use.
We don't know how to
Uh,
prepare for that winter, right?
yeah, we need to learn all stuff, you know. And my daughter was going to school and there was some days that there was lots of snow, and we we thought it was okay. And we've heard that some schools stopped because of like much snow, but then I realized what means big snow for them. Like when they have like a 50 centimeters of snow,
Yeah.
they may think about too much, right?
Yeah.
Because it's we talk about Toronto, because I know that in some other places here in Canada that this is like just normal winter. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. So, did you get the winter from 2024,
yeah,
right? Okay.
right.
I I got the winter in 2023. Man, it was really crazy. Uh, and I never see snow, but the
Hmm.
snow we got in March was so crazy. We got three, no, two storms that school was closed. We were not able to go outside with car,
Hmm.
and
Can imagine.
yeah. But
What is your place?
I arrived in Milton. That is
You,
pretty new.
it's pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
near here.
close to Toronto. It's
Yeah.
part of the Great Toronto area. So,
Hmm.
but it's more for the other side.
The west side.
Yeah, but it's nice. It was nice. We liked the snow and everything
Hmm.
in the winter. So it was not a big issue for us. Okay, so let's start with more technical stuffs, right?
Sure. That's what we hear,
Yeah,
right?
Pedro, where did your journey with Java started? Where,
Yeah.
when, and how it was?
Well, I can say that when I was before my when I got to the college, it was 1998. Then when a friend said to me, "Oh, you're going to study computer science," I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Oh, you need to study this," and he gave me a small book says Java 1.0.
Oh,
It was 1998, and I said, "Wow, that's interesting." But I didn't understand nothing. I didn't try anything. I was like doing my
yeah,
exams to get to college, right? And then in 1999, I got to college, and one of the very first things I the first year is just maths and stuff, and then the second year, like 2000, I started studying Java, and at that time Java was getting into the college. So in 2001 I had like a special Java class
yeah.
in the college, but I started using this in 2000. So my first swing application
Whoa.
was in Java 2, right? Java 2 is 98. So for me it was in 2000. So I could say,
Yes.
yeah,
So
I got pretty far, so
you
far
got
away. But
from the beginning, right?
yes, but I started coding professionally just in 2004, to the military here, there in Brazil, and then I had many years of Java in my life. It was a small amount of years that I didn't have Java in my life, like these last 3 years, for example. But that
Yeah.
I'm full time Python now. The
Oh,
last three
really?
years. Yeah, and that for
Nice.
me, it's I think after all these years of Java, when we getting Python was very easy
Yeah.
because we saw all the goodness and the bad stuff of Java that from that time, from Java 1.2
Yeah,
to
that is
1.3 or
something.
point 4.
On the beginning, I believe it was really hard to work with Java, right? I
Yeah, that,
I
that
start
people start getting angry about Java because of that, because Java is really hard. Java
yeah,
is, to get something to in Java, you need to know object orientation. And if people don't understand that today, you can imagine how it was
yeah,
at that time.
yeah, that
So
is true. I started in, let me think, 20, 2010, I believe. No,
mm,
2009. I started with Java using Java 6.
Java
We
6 was already much
Yeah, we start with Java for web, creating web servers with Spring,
better.
but it's still
Yeah, so
using
we had
Tomcat
Spring
or
already.
JBoss, something.
I think
So
Spring is 2004, right? When the first version of Spring.
yeah, I think so.
I remember because I use it AGB 2.0.
Yeah, I use it a little
It
bit.
was so awful. That thing was incredibly bad to work with. Not to develop it was so strange way to develop this. Lots of configurations, lots of XML, and of course the difficulty to run stuff, because
Yeah,
that thing gets so much memory, and in our machines that didn't have all this memory that we have today, right?
yeah, yeah.
It was really really
In
bad.
the past, if you have like 256, it's a lot of memory in the past, right?
Yeah, I remember my laptop had 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, and when
Yeah,
I
I can
got like,
imagine.
I think, yeah, 2 gigabytes, and it was like a lot of memory.
And
But after that, we realized I discovered Spring, and Spring was something that changed many Java webs
yeah,
developers from that time, because Spring was really much more simpler than EGB. Of course, there were still lots of XML at that time,
yeah,
but all the things were much more cleaner, I could say. And
yeah,
so Spring had this idea of being clean.
yeah.
Oh,
Nowadays, I believe we don't have why as to tell that Java is hard, because we
mhm.
have many ways to run the things easily, right?
Oh yeah.
Have a lot of options of frameworks,
Mhm.
tools, and I
Yeah.
remember,
When I discovered Spring Boot,
yeah,
uh, I don't remember when.
it was amazing.
Around 2010, and a little after that. But Spring Boot was like the best thing that ever happens in a Java web developer life, because
Yeah,
then we had all the stuff, no need to XML to configure all the things, were like default configurations and all the stuff. It
yeah. Spring Boot
the
changed our world, right?
Yeah, changed the
How we
word.
create
That's
things.
why it's so used until now.
Yeah, I remember I
But
got a Spring Boot for the first time I got for a project to Grupo Pão de Açúcar, I believe,
mhm.
using microservices and running all the things easily. Because before that, we had to configure at JBoss a lot of stuffs, and that it was a really hard thing to do for me,
Mhm.
thinking on the beginning,
But
and I never was able to create something from the zero with success with that. So
Wow.
I was struggling. So sometimes the Spring Boot happens. So
Mhm.
my my work became easily a lot. So
For sure. Yeah, I remember that I create some videos in my YouTube channel as well. I had an old YouTube channel called Java for Beginners, Java para iniciantes in Portuguese.
yeah,
And if when you look at these old videos, like I think it's more than 5 years now, uh, for about Spring Boot, and I we always have to explain the differences of what is Spring, what is Spring Boot, what is Spring MVC, what is Spring Web Flux, all these
yeah,
different flavors of the same thing. And then I had one entire video explaining, oh, Spring Boot is about configuration. Spring Boot has nothing to do with web, has nothing to do with microservices, and people like, God, what this guy is saying.
yeah,
I said, and we have to go back and explain how things work and how things were before that, so we can explain, okay, that's it, Spring Boot is about configuration, and that's why you love it so much.
yeah. Basically,
I
they
find it's very good. Actually, I was trying this last month, I think. I started trying some writing stuff with Quarkos. Have you
oh
tried?
yeah, Quarks is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
see. I look and I say, wow,
yeah
that's really cool as
I
well.
studied a year ago. I start using Quarkus to do some local stuffs
Hmm.
like create small services running uh, with Kubernetes local and working very well. I really like it. The
It's pretty
way we
performant.
can, yeah, and plug all the things and run on the OpenShift easily.
Hmm.
This I really like it. I write a little bit about Quarkus and this cloud native way to do the things.
I think
Is
this is the most important part actually, because
yeah,
today everything is about deployment. Everything is about, oh, how easy it is to get to a container, how easy it is to scale in Kubernetes. And Java was not the best thing in this place until recently, but Quarkus was from the beginning. They created the things to be to expect this kind of environment. So I think this
yeah,
is I like, and all the native stuff you can use GraalVM and compile stuff
yeah.
to
That
the
is cool.
this SEO native, and it stays. I tried. I remember when it started happening. I tried for Spring Boot as well. Spring Boot works, but the Quarkus is much easier. What I,
Yeah,
well, but I was testing Quarkus because I wanted to learn a little more, and I wanted to try AI, how AI could help me to do that. So
yeah.
that was
So
my
and I
my
believe
idea.
today is the most no the most famous for the industry and what the company is using, but Quarkus is became more not useful, but people's getting to know, right? They are sharing a lot. And
Uh,
how it was your experience using Quarkus with AI and
no, no,
what
yeah,
were you?
I had just a small experience to try, just because I want to try to learn a little more about Quarkus, and then AI could help me really easy, right? To from the ground to make from the ground in a way that we didn't have any. I didn't have JDK installed on my machine, right?
Oh,
I
that
didn't have a Maven installed on my machine, so I
okay.
would
So
say, okay,
You start
AI,
using like cursor AI stuffs and creating
yeah,
something with
I
Quarkus.
yeah, I was trying with Klein and Open Router,
Nice.
and then I was using this Quen 3 coder, the Chinese model. I was just wanna test, In my
Yeah.
day-to-day life, I work with Cursor, right? And with Python. So I'm now a Python engineer, uh, Python backend engineer, and it's been 3 years now in this, and I work in this fintech part of the company. But actually, it's the only difference, at least for me, the only difference is just the language, because all the rest is the same, like Kubernetes, Docker,
Yeah.
uh,
The background
AWS,
is the same.
AWS, Kafka, uh, you know, all the main stuff. But and now I'm using Cursor, VS Code, right? Interesting enough, in my VS Code, I install an extension that put all my key bindings as an Eclipse key bindings.
Oh, yeah, we never forgot, right? We never forgot. I
I
use it
said, man,
for
I
many years, the Eclipse
more
shortcuts.
than 15 years, I think,
Yeah,
that I use Eclipse, and I say, wow, I won't change that. And then
yeah.
every time I install VS Code, I install these Eclipse key bindings, and I get mad when they, I think a cursor get one of my key bindings was Control E, that is to find the tab that is open, and they change
Yeah,
that for something to run something AI stuff, and say, well,
yeah,
you're messing with my key bindings. Don't do
yeah.
that.
Man, I remember when I started using IntelliJ. I I changed it right for the Eclipse shortcuts and use it for many years. I believe last year I started to use the IntelliJ shortcuts default.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm okay with that, but it was
Yeah, it's
hard.
been
It was
a
hard.
year.
Yeah,
It's a year to get there. But that's my day-to-day work. So I work with Corsa, and actually, if we start talking about AI, I've been testing AI a lot. It's really nice
oh,
to
really? Yeah, we can talk
use
about
AI
it.
in my day-to-day work.
Yeah.
But well, going back to the top, and then I was learning from the ground. Let's say the AI could create all the project, start everything, put all pull all the things together, like uh, I wanna create a recipe with database and with
Yeah.
all tests, unit tests, integration tests, and all Maven stuff. So and then I didn't know any of the Quarkus commands, and then he told me, like, MVN Quarkus dev, and then you can start, and then you can test stuff.
Yeah.
So lots of nice things that AI could do when you want to learn with it. You can
Yeah.
use you can use AI as your pair programmer. You For learning is very, very good.
Yeah.
Of
That's
course, I
amazing.
knew Java. I didn't Java was not a problem. The problem was Quarkus itself.
Yeah.
So every time I had, how can I do this using Quarkus, and then I ask, oh, how to do this using Quarkus. I use this annotation, and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's different annotations. It's still Java, but uh, you Quarkus is a different platform, right? So you have to learn how to do it.
yeah,
And yeah,
but not
Cursor
so
is
different.
very powerful tool. I already use it sometimes to do Java or other scripts like shell script, or even once I tried to build my blog using Cursor,
Hmm.
and man, it's so powerful. I'm not a UX guy or UI stuffs. I didn't handle good with that, but it was not necessary because with Cursor I could do it and it was easy. I really like
Yeah,
it.
you can just of course for front end you probably need some more extensions to make it better, right? To make it easier for you. And they and there is some very good MCPs where you can like plug in your browser and you can see the execution of the web. But I'm not a front end developer myself as well, so every time I cannot do front end. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, me
but
too.
but it's important to know a little at least.
Yeah,
And something that I studied like React and all the stuff, how to do stuff in
yeah.
React.
It's important to know
But
what it is.
if you ask me something to write something from scratch, I'm not able. I would need to go to Google
Yeah,
or now I need to go. I go to Cursor and I ask Cursor to create for
and
me.
it's okay.
Yeah, and we are done.
Good, good.
But actually, to make AI being useful like that is very interesting as well. It's something I think every developer needs to know now. It's
Yeah,
a new thing, and people that are not using that in day to day, they are missing, and they will miss that like in a few years.
yeah. I saw that yesterday you had a talk about that, right? And
Exactly.
you could you share a little bit about your experience with
Sure.
your tests and
Yeah.
just
Yesterday we talked about that as AI empowered developers, right?
yeah,
And this name is still didn't is we still don't have, right? We have some names like vibe
yeah,
coding, and Andre Carpat created the name, and this name is a very good marketing name because it's the things that all CEOs want. They want that creating software is something so commodity that you can just ask and it is done,
yeah,
right? We realize that it's not like that, right? At least not, at least for now. Uh, but we can get like really, we can get very more productive, much more productive if we use AI in a correct way for creating this production ready applications. Because
yeah,
if you're just vibe coding, every time I like to say that if you're vibe coding, if you're not looking at your code, you are just blinding coding, you know.
yeah. That is true.
And this will fire back eventually. So for and when we think about us software engineers, we know how software must look like. We know how hard it is to write professional code, right? And we know how all the software engineer best practices we need to follow to get to that, right?
Yeah,
So if we can't forget all these years of software engineering, but we can add AI tools and AI agents to create and test and uh, code reviews and do other stuff that we can do with software inside our software engineer life cycle.
yeah,
So that's what I'm doing. I'm working here. My company has all this best practices in place, all pipeline, CI, CD. We have CD. If I merge my code, it goes to production right away, right?
oh,
Not right
that's
away. It's after all the CD
yeah,
pipeline passes, of course, right? But that's the goodness of it. So DevOps is something that we still need, and DevOps is increasing his works because of AI as well. And then when we get to this point, if you and then you put AI in place, you need to be extra careful because if you just don't look at the code, this you merge the things and it goes to production directly, you cannot blame AI,
yeah.
right?
You are
You
the
need to.
responsible, right?
You are the responsible. You are the engineer who did that. You know, if you didn't look at your code, it's your problem. It's your responsibility.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
getting to a point where AI can generate good code for you is something that takes time. So that's something that I've been working with AI. So I have some data for my case. In my case, I could increase the number of lines of code written in my codes 5 times in average. I took the first 3 months of the year and the last 3 months. It was like 5 times more code, 6 times more test code, 8 times more documentation code.
Oh,
So it's using
it's a lot.
AI, and all this code that I'm talking about, it's running in production,
Yeah.
and it's being reviewed by other engineers. So
Yeah,
I'm
that is
not talking.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not talking
amazing.
about. I'm not talking about something that I'm doing in a side project. Nobody's looking at the code. No, I'm not doing that. It's professional.
Yeah, you can imagine all the engineers with that powers and using and doing with responsibility. It could
And
increase a lot our how we do the things.
exactly. So that's I like to say that is to get to this point is more a case of process than a case of a tool, actual tool, right? Because we are using Cursor, but you could be using Copilot.
Yeah.
My friend Igor from yesterday, he's using June in IntelliJ, right? Uh, we now have more Amazon Kiro that is in pre-release now.
Yeah,
We have
Gemini,
Google Gemini Code Assist
Cloud
that is
AI.
in release as well, like Replit, all these other Lovable, etc. But when we think about Lovable, for example, I don't think how could Lovable help in this to write code that you write inside your company, for example. You know,
Hmm.
the, they have use cases, right? But all these other things like GitHub Copilot is one of the most known AI IDE because it's the very first one, right?
Yeah,
And it's not as good as Corsa today, but it will be. You know, Microsoft has put a lot of money. Google has put up a lot of money. Amazon has put a lot of money. It will be good. The problem will be the engineers that use it.
yeah, that is the point. We will not be replaced by that, but we certainly have
We,
to know how to use, right?
yeah, we will not be replaced, but definitely we'll need less engineers to do the same amount of work.
Yeah,
Definitely, you know. So the same, but it happens in our career, in our profession. We've seen I've seen that happening a lot
yeah,
when we start doing. I, Before I start, we had this change between uh, compiled language and visual languages. Remember one time, oh, Delphi or Visual Studio, Visual C++, or something like that. People say, "Oh, now we will not need programmers anymore because anybody can go and create your own screen, just drag and drop
yeah, for sure.
buttons and stuff and the screen." People say, "I will not need engineers anymore." We know
Not
that's not
happen.
true. We saw that happening, and then we start getting internet internet with lots of stuff, new stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then we get like all the tools that you could drag and drop as well, like Dreamweaver, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, again, the same. All these tools, they are make your life to develop much better, much more productive.
Yeah,
And then, of course, less developers are needed to do the same amount of job. But then what happened at that time was the amount of software needed in the world starting increasing. So the productivity of these tools increased the tools, the productivity of the developer, but the amount of software needed increased much more than that. And then we have this boom with amount of developer that was like in a very very high moment during COVID, just after
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Remember, we
I
are seeing
remember.
the same thing today. After COVID, we have like developers being paid $500,000 a year, $700,000 a year, and then 2 years later, oh, layoffs, layoffs. People say, oh, people, it's AI, it's AI. No, it's not AI. It's the normal flow of our careers, and
Yeah.
you are seeing the same thing happening with AI scientists, AI engineers. You know, so we are
Yeah.
seeing
Happening.
have you seen the Meta trying to get open AI scientists?
No, I
You-
didn't see.
no, you didn't see. Oh man, they
They tried.
offered, they called the guys like in the mail and stuff, and said, oh yeah, I have an offer for you, $1 million a year.
Man.
And I think it was like 10 millions or $100 million in total package with all this stuff. Like they had $1 billion to get the dream team of AI for Meta, and they started doing this, like going to OpenAI and put like millions of dollars in that in this guy's hands.
You can imagine that.
You can manage to receive an offer
Yeah.
in your email, say that is okay. It's $1 million a year, and it's $100 million in a total of 10 years.
Yeah. It's impossible to say no, right?
Possible.
Impossible.
Yeah, then and as far as I know, some of them said no. But as far they said,
They have to they have to
the
have a good
San
reason, right?
Altman said, San Altman said. So, well, we
Yeah.
don't know, but it's exactly the same, right? When you see, oh, we need these guys who knows this, right? And there's not enough of these guys in the market. That's why I say we need to learn about AI, at least to be more productive using the tools. In the
Yeah.
minimum, in the minimum.
Yeah. That is true.
This will be something uh, if you don't know how to use an IDE like some years ago, and you just use Notepad to code, you were nothing, right? Everybody who wants to write good Java code needs to have a good IDE because Java has lots of boilerplate and lots of stuff you need to do, right?
Yeah. And
It's much better.
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes the this AI will become our ID. Will everyone will have to use to be more productive, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing here, creating a process where I could make my the code that AI is creating for me more aligned with our company wanted, more aligned with that repo wanted, right? And in a way that I could share it with all my team. Cursor could
Yeah.
help us use creating that. So this is a process where we put some knowledge about the architecture, not about the code standards, knowledge about the testing standards. You add all these things, and then you add, okay, and now I need to create this feature,
Yeah.
and I have
That
this
is very
task
good.
that is the part of a feature that is inside this all this. All this I'm talking about is what people are saying, calling now context engineering.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
And
know I was doing that at the time, like some months ago. They created they created the word now, like
yeah.
so,
So
a month ago.
one more phrase for your LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, we did put that.
So
All the names we need to get. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Get used it. So, in your case, are you starting? Probably you are using the Pro, the Cursor Pro,
Mhm.
and you are training the cursor, but the cursor is looking for a specific database for your company,
Mm,
or you are using the Pro with like a custom chat for the application you want to work.
yeah, this is a very good question. Corso doesn't have this, you know. Corso, there are some tools that can do that.
Yeah.
Amazon Q is creating this. It's I think I saw here in Toronto on AWS Summit when they launched Amazon Q. The Amazon Q is a way that you can feed all your code, so Amazon can fine tuning a model for your specific use case or specific code of your company,
Hmm.
right? But
Right.
they didn't sell that a lot. I think the companies that is are not on this level yet. You know, they are not in this moment in their processes about AI.
Yeah.
What and now Google is doing something similar with Gemini Code Assist. But as I said, the companies are not there yet, right? We have some levels to get, you know. So something that I say that if you are level zero as AI empowered developer, is it says that okay, I don't use AI at all, I don't like AI, and I think AI just make my productivity lower. Level zero, you don't know how to use it. Level one is most of the developers that are using AI today are in this level one. That is using AI as a chatbot. You go to ChatGPT, you ask, "Oh, ChatGPT, can you write this code for me?" And then you say, "No, ChatGPT is not that like that. You need to put something like this." And then ChatGPT two, and then you get copy and paste
Yeah.
to your project, and you see if it works, and it doesn't work, and we get an error, and you go back to ChatGPT, say, "ChatGPT, can you help me with this error?" And then you do that. Many people, I talk to ChatGPT here because ChatGPT is the one of the most used AI tools developers are using today. Truly, I saw the research from the people from Código Fonte TV. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I
they
know.
showed how the tools that AI that developers are using. And ChatGPT was one of the number one.
So they are using in that level, level one,
In that level one that I'm saying,
copying and pasting on
copy and paste code and errors and code and errors and those things. Many developers are using
yeah,
tools like Cursor.
that can help for specific things, but it's not so productive, right?
Exactly. It's not so productive. That's the point. And maybe if you start going and write your code yourself, you'll maybe like faster than ChatGPT,
Yeah.
right? Because you need to make ChatGPT understand what you want, and then he sometimes it just if it's not, he just generate codes that you're not gonna use it because it's not correct for you. And
Yeah.
many of developers are using this tools like Cursor, Copilot, any other one exactly the same way, because they
Hmm.
fear that AI can change their code and do some crazy stuff. We heard lots of crazy stuff AI do. Yeah, we know AI do lots of crazy stuff. AI
Yeah.
hallucinate. AI is crazy many times. But and then instead people just use it like that and say, okay, this is level one. So and then you as an engineer you get to level two. What is you can talk to this chatbot, but the chatbot can write and change code for you. You can go with ask and they change, and then you accept or you approve or you deny each step of the change that this chatbot works with you.
Hmm.
It is an increase. You can get a little more productive with that, but it's still eh, not that easy.
Yeah.
So, and then I say, okay, we can get to level three. What we have level three now is the agent using the coding, agentic code. What is that? Many of these tools already have agent, what they call agents, right? What is agents in a TRDR is just AI that can analyze the code, run tests, write tests, and checks everything's working like by its own.
Yeah.
You don't need to stop it. You don't need to approve. It can do by its own. Of course, if you don't know how to use AI like from the very beginning, on the first levels, if you put this guy on, AI starts getting crazy and creating lots of crazy stuff. People say, no, 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 I'm not gonna use that. I don't know how to use. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
It's a
It's
powerful
not
weapon.
massive my code. Yeah, it's a powerful weapon. Big power.
Yeah. So that is
It
why you have
brings
to to
great powers.
bring,
Great powers.
yeah, Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, great powers.
So that is why you have to bring enough context for that tool, right?
Yeah, then you need to do all this content engineer, and then you can use any agent you want. Like I talking about Cursor, Copilot agent, Cloud Code, Gemini CLI. All these guys are very good at this. All this. I was using Cloud Sonnet, but then Cursor changed the subscription. You can't use Cloud Sonnet as much as you want anymore. And in Cursor, but you can use what they call automatic. You choose, oh, Cursor will choose the model for you. I don't have power to choose the model anymore because I'm lost credits. I don't have enough credits.
Yeah.
Okay, but this auto model is very good as well. You don't need the most powerful model to do this job. That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? You don't need the most powerful one. That's why I'm saying that I was trying the Chinese one. The Chinese one is very, very good and very,
If it
very low
works,
cost.
it's okay.
Yeah, but of course you need to bring enough context to
Yeah.
the job, and
Amazing.
that all this like create all these files. People say that is I like to say architecture, code style, testing styles for the repo, and then you have to have a PRD, maybe or maybe not, design doc for the feature you want to write. All these documents can be written by the AI as well. You don't need to write here by hand, okay? All this document can be written by AI. Of course, you need to work on that to make it good. And then when you have a design doc, you can have a bunch of tasks to run to execute. For each task, you can create plans. That is the organization.
Yeah.
The first part is the repo, something you can just leave there and just put in the context when you need. The PRD is something that we're always creating because you're always creating new features, right? Design docs are always creating new features.
Yeah.
And for each task you have, you can divide your team task for your team, and each engineer get a task and say, okay, I have this task here, and then you work with AI. So create a plan, execute a plan, create a plan, execute a plan, and then you have like a very well organized way to handle this bull that is an AI, So
Yeah.
and then
So
AI can create lots of stuff. I'm doing that like some 4 months now, and it's incredible powerful. Of course, for small things you go and write yourself, but every normal feature is not small, and then
yeah. Yeah.
so
Right. Yeah.
easy.
That is very powerful. The context,
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
using Cursor.
basically,
You can do that in anywhere.
yeah,
Copilot.
the process is the key, right? You have
Yeah, Well, I was
create a
using this
process
process
for it.
like 4 months now, and then Amazon, when Amazon launched like 2 weeks ago, the Amazon Kiro, and when you look at Amazon Kiro, they have this exact process built in the tool. This exact process.
Yeah,
You look at, they call it spec driven development.
look that. They get your ideas.
Yeah, not mine, of course. It's idea that is in there. People
Yeah,
are cooking around the internet. I'm testing. I'm putting my stuff there. People are doing their stuff there. You know, and of course, when you look at this best practice, you could see, oh, the tools are getting that as well. You know, so
yeah,
and,
cool.
this will be a difference. And something that I see here in Canada, I have my one of the founders of my company. He he just uh, he left, not left the company, but he stopped being working directly as a director. Now he's just a counselor,
Yeah,
right? And now he's working as investor for all other AI companies. And he has this AI lean board, what he calls, he shows that many of these new AI companies, AI ready companies, they are in making, how can I say, the value per person, per worker, right? Per,
yeah,
per employee, they are getting like huge numbers in terms of how the value of the company per employee. So
well,
it shows how AI can improve the productivity of the companies.
yeah. Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So they
you can
are
find
working.
the dashboard here in LinkedIn. I can send you after that.
Yeah, send me, please.
It's so really cool.
So good. So going to the end, I would like to hear a little bit more from you about how you. I saw you are doing uh, a really good work with community and mentorship stuffs.
Mm,
And how is that for you? How is that is how you see that is essential for developers and people who want to grow in their careers?
yeah. I I I I got a lot of time to realize how good it was to have a mentor, you know, because sometimes we think, oh no, I have total control of my career. I know what I want. I know, but in fact you don't, because you have your own vision, right? When you get a mentor
Yeah,
that has more experience than you, we're not talking about knowledge, right? You're talking about experience. You're talking about a vision, about contacts, networking. You know, when you get a mentor, you you are getting all these things, right? And then this guy can give his vision of what's happening to you. Of course, uh, there are some specific kind of mentorships, right? Oh, you, depending on where you are and what you're aiming at this point of your at that point in your career.
yeah,
We see, for example, our mentor Bruno Souza. He is looking for senior developers that want to grow and get to celebrity developer, get to post senior positions. Right. This is one place you are in a career. You can get to another place. Right.
right.
But in my case, I was helping people who are working in Brazil or having already a good experience in Brazil, and they want to work to US or Canada when else where they can earn much more money, right? Doing the same job.
Yeah,
Because we know that in Brazil we have lots of good engineers, right? And this and the knowledge is pretty much the same, right?
right.
Of course, you're not talking about big techs here. If you want to enter in Meta, you have books. Meta, Facebook, or Google, Microsoft. You have books written just to prepare yourself for 1 or 2 years to be able to pass in this kind of
Yeah, it's
uh,
another stuff. It's a
and it's
completely
completely
other
different
process.
stuff. Yeah, completely different stuff. But when we talk about like um, uh, smaller companies, like medium companies, even small ones, even startups, uh, there are a very good amount of these companies that knows that can hire people from Latin America is because of time zone. Time zone is almost the same for us,
Yeah,
right? Brazilians, Argentine, Colombia, they all have good developers, and we are in the same time zone already, right?
we know
And
how to do the work, and
we know how to do
we
the work, and we can work as contractors directly to them, right? Of course. Uh, and in 2022 was much easier to get this kind of job
yeah,
because no there were no developers in the market. Everybody was having opportunities, right? But today is tighter for sure, but these positions still are still there, with some kind of lower salaries. But when we talk about the lower salaries there, we are talking about top salaries in Brazil.
yeah,
You can find in Brazil, you know. When you have, it's good to have some numbers. People say, "Oh, you have like five k dollar, $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month is a low salary in US, really low. No juniors want to get this salary,
yeah,
and then you can hire a senior developer in Brazil, and it will be like 25,000 reais,
yeah. Imagine.
big salary. And then you can get this salary with a low taxes because you are exporting service, pretty low taxes. You know, you get like 20,000 in your hands,
Yeah,
completely, completely clean and completely
yeah,
paying all your taxes.
that is
You
a
see,
very good deal, right?
very good deal, and have lots of these kind of opportunities there, five, six, $7,000. And that's what I was trying to help people, uh, because there are lots of things you need to know, like how to get a company, how to make how to correctly create an invoice, how to correctly create a fiscal invoice, how
Yeah.
to receive the money, how to
So you can help in all the process
yeah,
from
I can
get
help
a
enough.
job to send the invoice and
Yeah,
how to
preparing to
pay,
interviews.
pay the
Of course.
taxes, prepare for interviews, all the process.
Yes, and there
Amazing.
are some people here they are already in my mentorship. They still there, and we talk about lots of different stuff as well. Not only this process, because some of them already passed that.
Yeah,
And then we and then we can talk about other different stuff, like, oh, how can I get even more? How can I grow? And then we talk lots about AI, because AI is something that will make you much more interesting to these companies, right?
yeah,
And then we talk a lot about that. But and many of them, when I talk, I see that they are not using AI yet in their day-to-day jobs. Maybe because the company doesn't allow it. Uh,
don't
maybe
have
because
license, money for
they don't have
license.
licenses or money, or. And then I pay, when we have this kind of environment, when the people who get first, they will they will receive the benefits first, right? So that's
Yeah,
the
that
that's
is
the
true.
main idea. So so when we look, the mentorship is not only the thing you're trying to get, but Of course, you will have much more sharing experience, networking experience where you
Yeah,
uh, give
it's a
and
community, right?
can get. Yeah, it's a community. That's the goodness is that with people from different places, you can receive different informations and then analyze better. Because of course nobody has the entire vision,
Yeah,
you know, and then we have to get this info from all different places and combine everything and make what you think is the best.
yeah, that's great. That is great. So good. I
Oh,
believe
talk a
it's
lot.
enough for today, right? 1 hour. We are here talking a lot, and for sure, I didn't ask half of the questions I had.
Any question that you really want to know? I think we still have time.
Yeah, no, no, I'm okay. 1 hour is very good time. Uh, if you want to, if you want to share your channels like blog or Twitter, you
Sure,
can
sure.
send to me, and I will attach on the video after that, so people can find you wherever they
You
want.
can find me in Twitter X at Pedro Cavalero, the same way you're reading there, or you can go to pedrocavalero.com. We have my blog there where I put all my stuff. So my
Yeah,
ebook, I have an ebook talking about that. Where we just talk about. I'm creating a new one to put more info that analyze it. Um, and there you can find my newsletter as well. So I can put it. I will. Everybody who downloads my ebooks, they can get the newsletter as well. So
cool.
we are. And man, I have my YouTube channel, but my YouTube channel unfortunately is not getting much videos. Just I'm just getting the out of the box develop podcasts episodes most when I'm there and when I'm presenting. I put
Yeah,
there in the channel as well, so you can find these talks about the yesterday that I talked. It's there already in Java para iniciantes, handle Java para iniciantes YouTube channel.
cool.
And yeah, that's it.
Great. So thank you, Pedro. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure being here with you in this hour and talk about your journey and Java technology, AI, and all the things included,
Career, Canada.
career, Canada. So, man, thank you for your time. I will end the live, but you can stay a little bit more, okay?
Okay,
Bye
thank
bye,
you.
everyone. Take care, everyone.